Hello, everybody in chat. Do you like puzzles? I like puzzles.
He likes puzzles. That he do. He likes puzzles. How about you?
So that's what that's about. Have to have beam redirectors because they couldn't just point it in the precise direction.
Yes.
Is there anything on this map? Doesn't look like there's anything new on this map. We... Two new locations. Desolate Island. Flooded Valley. Or I can go back and clean up some stuff. There's still 2 stars I need to get here. I haven't done the extra puzzles in this one. I'm gonna do some extra puzzles. Somebody needs to clean off this windshield. Okay. Before the question marks, there's the question marks. Question marks. In this direction.
So we're chasing down the stars. That's the Sphinx and Athena statues, right?
Well, that's part of what we're doing. Still haven't. I don't think I've seen the. I did see the. It's not Athena. It's Pandora. I did see the Pandora statue here. I have not figured out what I'm going to do about it yet. Transposition. Hammer. Hammer there, and go over here. There's a connector. No, it does not look like there's an angle here I can use. Can I use the angle here? No. Can I use it through here? No. I can reach it from this area here. But that's a red one. The neighbor's dog upstairs is being very loud.
It's not coming through for me at all.
It's not loud enough to be picked up by the stream. It's just loud enough to be distracting for me.
I see. Look, he's just cheering you on, okay? He wants you to figure out all the bright, shiny colors.
He's a dog. He can't even see all of them. How do you get in here? Oh, what else can I use the jammer on? Can't use the jammer there. Then I can't get it through.
Is this going to be the thing where you have to like set up a halfway solution to get that blue switch open, and then sort of flip it over to keep it maintained, or the red switch?
Oh, if I had connected from this side and like that, and then jam it. Now it's open.
There you go, now.
Now I can grab this thing. Bring this over here.
Blue.
And also take this to the other side. I also put the jammer on the other side, but I don't know if that will be helpful.
Probably will. It can't hurt. It would
No,
only
I
give you
can't.
more
I
opportunities.
can't bring it because there's no other way to open this gate.
Oh, because that's a blocking gate. That's not
Yeah.
a disintegration gate.
Is this useful for anything else except this one particular wall? Probably not.
Doesn't look like, unless it can be used as a weight. But I don't think there's anything for that. Oh wait, can you do? Hold on. This emitter right here. Put it in front of the portal, pointing at the blue emitter, and then put the flipper on the other side of the portal. Does that make sense?
I can do the exact same thing I did before.
Oh no, you can't.
Set
'cause
it up
it's got
from
that edge
here.
there.
Go over here, take the jammer, do that.
Well, you can make the inverter also open that one red switch.
Can this reach the blue? Yes, it can. I just do that. I don't even need to do that.
Oh.
It's the end of the puzzle.
Chat says, look at those paws. They are very bappy.
They
They are very bappy paws.
They are bappy.
Just remember, chat, when you're done bapping your Rick, You give him a good wash. Good spray down with some Huggies spray.
Maybe it's just Febreze.
See, on Plushuous that sounds fine, but Febreze in the eyes of basically every other form does not sound great. Maybe Robot can do that. Maybe you just have to put some Windex in the robot's eyes. Wobble.
Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Wobble.
Wow. Doesn't even connect it if I put it there. And I can take this and use this. I don't know. Does that help?
That works
I
for
don't know
now.
yet. I do not know yet.
Well, hold on. That red laser could probably go through that portal. But can you get this inverter to the other side of the portal? Manipulate it from there?
Nothing it can reach from here. I don't even know why this is here. Let's see. Take this here. No, that's blue light. What were the other receivers? There's a blue receiver right here. Which I would not have to have anything standing on the button, but I don't even... Well, if I put it right here, I would have a receiver. Should be able to connect to the receiver over there. So let's just connect it up. Again, doing this blind. This seems to be a common theme with these puzzles for this game. That opens that. I need to go... I can't go through there. Because I can't go through these tunnels. People just tossing me around. What for? Oh, but I can connect to this too. There we go. Now that's open. Oh, I either have to make this complication.
Because otherwise you would have had a solution.
Okay, if I do that, what can I reach from here? I can reach... Can I reach the red? Maybe. can reach the red emitter from there. But it makes blue light. Again, needs to... Wait, just use the other. No. Do that. There we go. Some of these puzzles always look slightly more complicated than they actually are. I'm sure they're overbuilt to prevent cheesing, but it keeps making me think that there's going to be another step to it. Okay, where's the other question marks? Standing on top of something. Aha. Aha. The end. After a lifetime dedicated to the written word, I'm faced with a task I could never have expected. Writing an epitaph not only for myself, but for my species. In the unlikely event that Alexandria Drennan is successful and one day someone reads this, what meaningful insights can I share into this strange phenomenon that is humanity? I spent days thinking about it, but now I'm running out of time, so I'll set down the one thought that I simply can't shake. It didn't have to be this way. With more time, we could have found a cure. With a few political victories, we could have been prepared. Change any factor, even by a little, and we would have made it. This isn't divine punishment, it's just dumb luck. I'm reaching for something here, but I don't know what it is. Forgiveness? Grace? Acceptance? No. I hate the idea of accepting this. Hope, maybe. I feel like the story is unfinished. Maybe it should be. No epitaphs for humanity. I pray Drennan is right. Miranda, it didn't have to be this way, and yet it was. Failed to load comment. Charon, from 51 Tales by Lord Dunsany. Charon leaned forward and rowed. All things were one with his weariness. It was not with him a matter of years or of centuries, but of wide floods of time, and an old heaviness and a pain in the arms had become for him part of the scheme that the gods had made, and was of a piece with eternity. If the gods had even sent him a contrary wind, it would have divided all time in his memory into two equal slabs. So gray were all things, always, that he was where he was, that if any radiance lingered a moment among the dead, on the face of such a queen, perhaps as Cleopatra, his eyes could not have perceived it. It was strange that the dead nowadays were coming in such numbers. They were coming in thousands, where they used to come in 50s. It was neither Charon's duty nor his wont to ponder in his grey soul why these things might be. Charon leaned forward and rowed. Then no one came for a while. It was not unusual for the gods to send no one down from Earth for such a space, but the gods knew best. Then one man came alone, and the little shade sat shivering on a lonely beach, and the great boat pushed off. Only one passenger, the gods knew best, and great and weary Charon rowed on besides the little silent shivering ghost. And the sound of the river was like a mighty sigh that the grief in the beginning had sighed among her sisters, and that could not die like the echoes of human sorrow failing on earthly hills, but was as old as time and in the pain in Charon's arms. Then the boat from the slow grey river loomed up to the coast of Dis, and the little silent shade, still shivering, stepped ashore, and Charon turned the boat to go wearily back to the world. Then the little shadow spoke that had been a man. "I am the last," he said. No one had ever made Charon smile before. No one before had ever made him weep. Miranda, there is an obvious and perhaps intended interpretation that this is the end of humanity and the shadow is the last human to live, but another interpretation is equally possible, that humanity has achieved immortality and the last shadow is the last human to die. I prefer the latter. Progress notes. Trial 803, version 0.08, unsuccessful. Same problem as with trial 108. Repeated all calculations, same result. Weird. Trials 804 to 891, experiment modified to gain further insights into unexpected error, inconsistent results. Trials 892 to 937, simultaneous trials affecting each other via unknown mechanism. What is going on here?
So if the first Talos Principle was about the genesis of intelligence and the capacity of a non-living thing to become living, is Talos Principle II about the genesis of civilization and how a single individual can become an entire culture?
Maybe. Why is it showing you there anyway?
Seems like some kind of ferrofluid thing. Ish.
Oh, is it? No, the next... I think the next thing is going to be gravity shifting.
Yeah.
Let's see, where's the other question mark?
I'm thinking about that thesis some more, and I think it also makes sense with just the sort of smaller scale plot, because everyone is sort of mythologized the founder and placed her upon this pedestal of like the person who did everything. You're gonna find her, and she's like, "Nah, I didn't do shit. It was never one person. It was always the group."
The rotting remains of the old world should fill me with melancholy. Even here on this remote island, our ancestors could not escape their fate. And yet, I find there is something pathetic about these ruins that evokes anger and even contempt. I feel it is a mistake to accept this catastrophe with equanimity. What we see here should offend us. When witnessing this triumph of entropy, we should aspire to a warrior spirit, even a kind of hate of the past and its failures that will never allow such a thing to happen again.
Up.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Hup, yep. Did everyone see the announcement for the Legend of Zelda live action movie?
Well, people, did you? Because I did.
Did you? Did you? I'm very interested to see, what was his name? Amir? To be sort of touted as the producer of this thing. Because he was the producer on, like, the recent Spider-Verse movies.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming off some real hot stuff. So I'm interested to see what he's going to be able to do.
Okay. Which one is the closest? I think this one.
Casey Gree says, I saw Scott Benson say Chris Pratt isn't enough of an androgynous twink to be Link.
We have a connector here. Where is...
Who is? Who would be a good? Who would I want as the actor for Link? Like, I'm thinking, like, oh, if Michael Cera gained 20 pounds, he'd be perfect, but, like, I don't think Michael Cera could play that character.
No.
Even if he doesn't say anything. Still don't think his body language would be good. Elliot Page? Who dat? No. He looks too old. He's 36 and he already has the frown lines of like a 70-year-old.
I remember stepping out here and seeing that. Uh-oh. The spire up there. Also connects.
Let me see, what did he look like in Umbrella Academy?
Right there between those rocks.
Maybe. Yeah, if they wanted to go for the, like, celebrity star, like they did for, the Mario movie, where they put Chris Pratt up in Stage Center,
Okay.
then I could totally see them doing Tom Holland.
Oh, this one's finished. All the doors are open. That makes this a lot easier since all the doors are open for these. I need that, and I need murder.
Would it be, chat, would it be too weird to get Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter, to play Zelda? Did it go all the way out? Yeah, I think it's being blocked. There you go. Basically just says, more androgynous actors! More androgynous actors!
Could also, of course, just get somebody completely unsuited to play the role of Link. He's just the bad reincarnation.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, at that point you get like John Cena or something. Though to be fair, John Cena as Ganondorf, I would not hate that. I think I'd probably rather Rock Johnson because I feel like Ganondorf fits better as sort of Samoan coded.
No, it needs to be on the other side.
Danny DeVito as Link. No, Danny DeVito as Mushu. Yeah, what do you want, Link? What do you got? I got some bombs. I got some ropes. I got the. You want an egg? I got an egg for you. You want an egg? Nice. You get shiny.
The hunter does not hunt because he is hungry. He hunts because he revels in death.
And because he's hungry.
I just had an incredibly cursed thought that I think would be funny.
What?
Hatsune Miku as Fi.
It would fit. Desolate Island.
You should be headed towards an island off the northern coast. The terrain's pretty rough, so be careful.
The island has another island attached to it.
Yes, it has several, actually.
How irritating.
What?
Island's all the way down.
Yeah, the islands have islands. It's called a archipelago or island chain.
Solve puzzles. Construction of this place just looks like the tower from the first game. Take control, huh?
It's pretty similar. That's it? What the? That's the whole thing?
Step on the correct one.
Okay, now Kith.
It also has my number on it. That's weird.
Now, I can understand that that's going to be chalked up to just they had one player model and that was it. But if they explain it in the story, that'd be very interesting.
Obviously, you're the chosen one. 1K is the chosen one, and that's what the whole 1,000 citizens was about. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Is this the copy or is this the original you're walking out
That's
with?
the copy. I'm the original right now.
Okay, good.
We'll see if that changes at any point. These are just all crammed together now. Okay.
Pick a platform. Oh, you gotta stand on yourself.
Yes.
It's like those time delay puzzles.
Yes, except there's no time element, so... I'm more than happy to do that.
You're not doing all the preparatory work where you're sitting there for 30 seconds waiting for your future self to jump on the platform.
Horrifying part is I eventually lose track of which one was my original body. Think about the implications.
Oh, I could just take it. There we go.
Any further insights on the particle?
Oh god,
facts?
chat, why? Why,
To be
Onion?
honest
Why?
with you, Byron, I feel
Why?
like a caveman trying to study Bose-Einstein condensate. I'm seeing unknown particles whose every property violates the laws of physics, apparently capable of being controlled and recombined into just about anything. It's ridiculous.
Maybe someone in New Jerusalem can figure it out.
Sure, just give them another 1,000 years.
So we have the,
What are you trying to do here?
we have the Star Trek assembler, able to make anything out of this exotic matter.
I need to be on the platform. Standing this on the platform.
Yeah, you need to be on one of these things and then have the other guy pick up the laser and put it on your platform.
Yeah.
Well, sort of worked.
Can't reach both of them. What does it mean?
Form is this even? What does onion mean? Glad I'm not the only one that doesn't get all of the Homestar Runner references.
It is a mystery. I can just have it on a platform above my head now. How am I supposed to reconcile this with only one redirector? Unless it's open already. No, wait. These open different doors. That opens the first door. Okay.
I see. Slide him in and then slide it over to open the second door. That's why there's the ladder.
I cannot see my duplicate. I need to put him in a better place. It's actually disorienting that I don't swap actually facing the direction the duplicate was.
Yeah, you're still facing the same, like, world direction. So if you're controlling one character that's looking southwest and you swap, your new character will also be looking southwest.
But I'm currently the duplicate.
Wonky, I've been watching you solve these puzzles, and this body replication tech is incredible. It just casually blows up the very foundations of our society.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
You can say that again. Making even just one of us is bloody hard. We're not like toasters. You don't just weld together a couple of wires and a motherboard and call it a day. Not to mention how hard it is to even find some of the materials. And this thing just, poof, new human. It was. Or was it? And even if it was, sorry to be heretical, but does it matter? If we can figure out how this works, we can finally, easily create more people. We can grow. We can expand. We can build a real civilization. Isn't that worth pursuing?
You were very quickly falling to the entrapments of your previous iteration. Of just growth, growth, growth. Until something destroys you.
Look, yes. Large amounts of people can cause problems. But even the problems they cause are interesting. Because without people, the world is boring. I'm not even saying there isn't some planetary limit. But I've done the maths. It's in the high billions. Not a measly 1,000. Anyway, we all need to think about what this means. Glad you and I are more or less on the same page.
So there
This
we
body
get into.
replication technology is proof of just how vital this expedition is. We may not know how it works and what its limitations are, but the technology itself isn't even what really matters. What matters is to expand our imagination, to realize that other futures are possible. I'm glad you see it that way too, 1K. After all, the world is better with you in it, isn't it?
Everything okay? I sure did. Not as well as Byron, but she was still around when I was born. I remember she came and talked to me after New Alexandria, told me how sorry she was. I never blamed her for that. It wasn't her responsibility. A lot busier than it is now. My most defining memory is that it was extremely noisy, because something was always being built. Got annoying after a while. It seems like something that could very quickly get out of control. You know that saying about good intentions? If we can solve problems by just making more people, how long before people just become a problem-solving tool? For some reason, we'd convinced ourselves that New Jerusalem wasn't enough, that we needed another city. We thought it would be easier the second time around. All it takes is a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of ignorance, and people die.
Wait, when he says people died, like, did they get remade, or are there less than 1,000 humans alive?
The people who were made for New Alexandria all died.
I see.
High ground. I have 2 bodies.
Gee, Rick, how come the game lets you have 2 more bodies? So was that person always an android, or are they a consciousness of someone who used to be a human? They were always a robot. All of humanity died out, and then basically these people were the ones who succeeded the simulation that took thousands of years after the end of the human race to finally come up with artificial intelligence. And then they started building bodies for themselves. And they finally built 1,000 bodies. And it has been at least several hundred years since the first person was created. Wolf Creeper says beans and fat tail. Look, he's Australian, alright? This is how they sit in Australia. Kangaroo, after all.
Okay.
Can you not clamber up a body like it's a ladder?
I can take the platform. I don't think that will help.
Nope, he just pops him off. Alright, hold on. So the person holding the platform stand next to the cube. Have another person jump onto the platform. And then have someone stand on the cube and then pick up the platform.
And then pick up the platform?
Yeah. Is there a guy on you? No, there's not. Okay.
Getting somebody up there is easy. All I need to do is that. And that. And this is as high as I can get. I don't know how to use the third person. Because there's only one of these platforms.
There's gotta be like an interface between each person.
Mouse wheel for third person.
See, I tried having somebody hold the hexahedron and then...
But you can't stand on it when they're holding it.
Well,
yeah.
maybe if it's from higher up. So, get him down. You jump there. Then you pick up the hexahedron. Then you are high up. But it does not give me any jumping prompts to jump on top of the hexahedron. And I can take the hexahedron from here. Let's space jump here. We can almost stand on top of somebody. Put the platform on top of the box. And it takes away the jump here. I can't even stand on top of it this way. I think that's to prevent a cheese, so why can't you put it on top of the box in the first place?
I mean, I can probably see why you'd be able to put it on the box, is because we'll probably have a problem later with, you put the platform on the box, and then you put the box in the path of a fan to send it through some inaccessible zone.
Probably. I remember there was
These
a bunch
multiple
of...
bodies feel a much simpler version of the first game's recording puzzles.
Yes.
Still.
They are.
Yep.
And even so, how do I use... How do I do this? There's some mechanic here that I'm missing. Can I jump? No, I can't take control while I'm jumping. I'm very thorough about trying to do anti-cheesing this time.
Yeah, I also love watching you jump while looking up at the other character, and it's, does not like staying in place.
It's not.
You sure there isn't another platform somewhere?
I don't see anything. If there was another platform, that would still be a puzzle, because you need to stack them too high, but I don't see another platform. Unless there's one inside the hexahedron. Ugh. Maybe there's another platform that's somewhere higher up.
I think this was an instance of doing the gamer thing.
The gamer thing.
The gamer thing?
Not
You don't
looking
look up?
I have
Hold
been
on.
looking up.
Look around a little more.
Oh,
What about
there
that
it
one right
is.
there? I saw that for a second, and I'm just like, are you sure you looked around? Because I'm pretty sure that looked like a platform.
It did not look like anything to me. It looks like part of the stage, honestly.
Yeah, fair.
How do I get it?
You need the bottom guy to be standing on the box, I think. Alright, there we go. Now you need to Matryoshka doll yourself over into the right place. Yeah, and now I have no idea which one this is, if it's the original or not.
I solved that by not being the original in the first place.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Originality's overrated.
I thought this level was going to be cramped, and then they have this whole outdoor area. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. This isn't the background music. The robots just have this running in their head 24/7. It's diegetic.
Man, I keep not eating. I don't know why I keep doing that these last couple of days. So now it is 11 p.m. and I need to make dinner. You know what that means? It is time for bacon cheese tater tots.
Sounds good.
Front Miller, you need to eat the celery and yogurt that's in your fridge to go bad in 2 days. Nope, bacon cheddar tots.
On Cornelius, from the personal reminiscences of Mitku. There are some people whose true importance you just don't notice at first, people who quietly hold things together without making a big deal of it. That's what Cornelius was. Always by Athena's side, he calmly and carefully helped us all stay on track, reminding us of our shared humanity and the values that brought us this far. I cannot imagine how painful it must have been when Athena left him behind, when he went on his so-called research expedition. Most people thought he went looking for her. To be honest, I thought he might never come back, and I was surprised when he finally did. I still don't understand how she could leave him. They seemed to love each other so deeply. After he returned, Cornelius was different. He founded the Museum of the Simulation and very rarely left its premises. The archive scholars doted on him, but he walled himself off, becoming almost as much of a recluse as Euthanasius. And only then did I slowly understand how much the city had lost. God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night, but does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day. And a bunch of hexadecimal code. Prime Mover, excerpted from Considerations by Euthanasius. While it is hard from our vantage point to fully believe in any of the ancient religions, I must admit that I have come to believe in the existence of a Prime Mover. Not a designer as such, certainly not an interventionist god, but some force that set the universe itself into motion. I do not know if it's possible for us to ever truly understand this being, since it must by definition exist outside our understanding of reality, but I do believe that it exists. Does it look upon us with love? Are we entertainment, perhaps? Does it preserve some memory of us when we die? All this I cannot answer, but I do not disbelieve those who honestly speak of having experienced some manner of brief communion with this entity. It's simply too common an experience in human history to easily discount. As the motion of the universe proceeds from the Big Bang, so whatever force animates us, whatever constitutes the true foundation of consciousness proceeds from the Prime Mover. Miranda, what did you think about this, Mother? Athena, I don't believe in any kind of Prime Mover, but I thought you should read it because Euthanasius is an intelligent person and he came to this conclusion after a great deal of thought. It's important to respectfully consider points of view we don't agree with. Lord of the Files, read 30 texts on terminals. From the Book of Annotated Internet Comments by Euthanasius. If modernity is so great, why is everyone so fundamentally disappointed with the world? Why do we sigh with pleasure at the sight of old houses, but feel nothing but depressed and alienated by skyscrapers? Why do we yearn for lush forests and wide plains, not narrow canyons between buildings? We love all this technology so much, why is our idea of happiness to get away from it? Could it be that progress is just a story we tell ourselves to justify why we allow ourselves to be dominated by inhumanity, and older forms of living have something to offer? It seems that many of us share this desire to immerse ourselves in nature. Though we are ourselves entirely technological beings, we enjoy and value Earth's diverse and unpredictable biosphere. But does that mean that progress is just a narrative, as this ancient commenter suggests, or does it mean that technological progression and a love of the natural world are not, in fact, mutually exclusive? And yet, if this person was left on his own somewhere in the wilderness, he would feel nothing but terror. The appreciation of nature is rooted in the experience of civilization, of safety. True, but he's still right. So much of what our ancestors created in their last years was alienating to the majority of people. Then the question isn't one of modernity, but of control.
I got a bag of free mixed candy at a Halloween event. The thing is, almost all of it sucks. Either they have an unpleasant texture or flavor, or both. Airheads, Tootsie Rolls, Warheads, Starburst, etc.
Wow, you don't like any of those?
If we think that other species are worth preserving, and we recognize that most of the universe is barren, then it follows that we have a duty not only to defend life, but to spread it. If life is the most valuable thing in the universe, then perhaps in a sense, the cosmos itself is depending on us to do this. Like birds carrying seeds to uninhabited islands. Maybe that's our role in the galactic ecology.
Yeah, for what Euthanasius was saying, I believe the person was right in that it is simply that the person sees the past, the cottage, the forest valley for the best thing that could be, and rather what their life would actually be like. It's never, I live in a forest valley, but I still have to pay bills. It's always, I live in a forest valley, every day is carefree, I never have to think about everything, all of my food is natural and comes to me, everything is perfect. And it's just like, no, what you want is your life to be without struggle. And you think that the only way to do that would to be in some sort of archaic setting.
Yeah, I guess I tend to like fruity or gummy candy, or chocolate stuff. That's what usually there is in Italy.
The Starburst and Airheads are taffy. What's wrong with taffy?
Starburst is pretty good. I can understand if you don't like Tootsie Rolls. They're very mid.
I like Tootsie Rolls as something to chew on.
Yeah,
but they're not.
I
They're
really
not
don't
good
like
chocolate.
Taffy's mouthfeel, then I guess.
Try take connector.
Still love me some.
I also like those licorices. Did I have you try them, Miller?
I don't think I did. I'm not really one
Stoker
for
loved those licorices, right, Rick?
Those licorices are terrible.
Why the heck do we keep starting to talk at the same time?
Because you mistime your thing. Okay, now I need to get blue over there.
There we go. All the head bats. For kitty.
Move somewhere. I can see you.
I can't imagine spending years in such a desolate place. For what? Science? Enlightenment? I'd much rather be back home in New Jerusalem.
I think it's beautiful in its own way. But
In its own
I don't understand how our
way.
ancestors could survive here. They were so fragile. Imagine getting stuck out here in the cold. I wonder if there are wolves.
It's kind of a miracle biological humans lasted as long as they did.
Let me in. Let me in the gates of heaven.
Wait, is it gonna turn out that this is like Everest or something, and it's an island only because of global flooding? And like we're gonna find one of the frozen bodies that have been up here for 3,000 years or whatever?
I don't know. They didn't mention that the world was mostly flooded or anything like that.
If the Everest had that kind of flooding, it would be the only island left in the world.
Okay, there's
Yeah,
a
that's
Sphinx
true.
statue. Okay. I do not understand it yet, but I will. Which one's the
You are henceforth.
Maybe this is why they don't give you a map. You need to figure out that you are here on your own.
I'm assuming it's the T.
What kind of candy do you guys like most, anyway?
It depends.
Finger, Babe Ruth, Reese's.
Babe Ruths are pretty good.
I think for me it goes Babe Ruth, then Reese's, then Butterfinger.
They should make a Babe Ruth with like twice the amount of peanuts.
I think it's called Payday.
And Payday isn't the same.
That's fair. It doesn't have any chocolate.
Yeah. Is there another duplicate in here somewhere? Oh, platform. That should help. Okay, so I can open the door. I could get over here anyway. The question is, how do I open the red door while having a guy in here? Oh, connect both of them.
Every one of these clouds seems to contain exactly the same amount of energy.
Exactly the same amount of energy, huh? Are we perhaps back in the simulation? Founder Megathread. Please keep discussion of the alleged presence of the founder at the side of the megastructure confined to this thread. I'm still in shock. I wasn't even sure the founder was still alive. Of course she is. Now we've reached completion day. She has sent us her sacred messengers. It could still be aliens pretending to be the founder. It's not aliens. And if Prometheus and Pandora are her sacred messengers, why does one apparently chain the other? The day of her return is imminent. So now you agree Byron was right to win an expedition? In fact, it was the founder's will all along, and when you said it would be wrong to even consider going to the island, you were acting against the founder. Your word games aren't going to help you when the founder returns, Arunia. It was wonderful to hear Athena's voice again, but with all the emotion inherent in the matter, we should be careful not to get swept away. We don't really understand anything yet. I can't help but wonder, if Miranda is her daughter, was Athena trying to start a new civilization? Did she abandon New Jerusalem? So maybe she wanted to experience something private. Why leave Cornelius behind then? That's none of our business. Fair enough. Body replication. Technology discovered by the expedition changes everything. Every argument about how hard it is to get access to the resources necessary to create more of us goes out the window. We can create more people. 1K doesn't have to be the last, and it would be easy. Are we really going to give up just because of the goal? Energy doesn't just come from nowhere. We have no idea what the real cost is behind this technology is. Besides, the goal is an ideal, not just a limit we ran into by accident. It is the will of the founder. Yeah, right. It's not necessary to share a personal belief in the founder to understand the value of the goal. It's clear to all but the most radical that humanity needs limits for its own sake and for the sake of the planet. You say that as if it was self-evident. It's not. You're smuggling a whole host of misanthropic ideas into the conversation under the disguise of reasonableness. Your premises are completely rotten. I believe the results of human history speak for themselves, and I find it shocking that anyone would disagree with something so obvious. Shocking that anyone would value human beings and think that maybe our ancestors could have solved their problems using their brains instead of preaching misery for all. That maybe there is some blanking point in blaming other factors beyond technology and growth, like, I don't know, people in positions of authority preaching their self-important blank morality instead of trying to solve ordinary people's problems. Authority? I'm just an academic. That's completely disingenuous and you know it. Your clique has the mayor's ear. Clique, I assure you there's no such thing. This conversation is getting out of hand. If you can't behave, I'm shutting this thread down. Take it to private.
Oh, I hate that part. I hate that part of the music because it sounds like somebody's tapping on my earphones from behind me.
A lovely sentiment, but you should try moderating this forum and see what it's like. If every conversation is allowed to explode, instability is guaranteed. We have to set reasonable limits on behavior thread closed. Yeah. I'm an engineer in the city. It seems we share a mutual acquaintance. Those things we could work well together. I like to connect with people who put facts before faith, so I'll be direct. The powers that be prefer to keep our society in stasis. They'd rather you are the last of our kind than seek new ways for us to live. They'd rather avoid big questions than reveal answers they may not like, but I can't accept that it's wrong to use what we know to solve problems before us. We wouldn't be here without technological solutions, learning growth, mistakes. Those are things that we are. I know we both have hope for the future, and your expedition beyond the city walls presents a rare opportunity, which leads to my purpose in contacting you. But before we get to that, I know you've an inquiring mind. What would you like to know? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? I just want to know what you want with me.
Is your name Dog?
I do physics, but not metaphysics. I'll give it a go. I suppose in the beginning there was nothing, and nothing implies something, and zeros and ones got progressively more complex until eventually you and I popped out. Chief Engineer of Fluid Dynamics, our city runs on hydroelectric power. We'd be better off building nuclear reactors, but I just run the dam. Our place of birth and source of life, so what do I know? And hey, maybe they're right. Maybe if we had more energy, we'd grow so fast we'd suffocate. I'd just rather test that hypothesis than spending an eternity fixing leaks. Knee-deep in river water, pulling tin cans from overflowing Sluice 8. Our ancestors so love their tin cans. I think the island you're exploring holds knowledge far in advance of our own. There will be a great pressure on your team to leave it hidden, but those secrets belong to us all. We all deserve to learn and to grow. I just want you to approach your work using scientific outlook you've been programmed with. Ask questions, be open to answers which challenge your assumptions. And above all, if what you find has consequences for us all, you mustn't keep it to yourself. I know, Byron and I have been anticipating this opportunity for some time. I'm certain you're going to find more. I wish in return I could share everything I know with you now, but that time will come. For now, I need to ask that you keep our relationship between us. The dynamics in New Jerusalem are complex enough. So what do you think? Are you willing to work with me? Excellent. Well, usually there's a bit more ceremony when someone new joins the cause. Nothing fancy, just a subtle branding with hydrogen peroxide, but that will have to wait until you're next in the city. In the meantime, welcome to Society Systemica. Is this some kind of secret society? I'd say it's more of a special interest working group. Nothing is more important to science than transparency, and at the same time we don't always have the luxury of ignoring social realities, which sometimes demand discretion. Which is to say, I can't exactly refute your suggestion, but I'd certainly discourage it. Is there a secret handshake? Well, yes, now that you mention it. Though it's actually a randomly generated code phrase. 44 laughing lullabies. Are there others? Other members of Systemica, or other groups like ours. To be fair, I can't tell you much about either as I'd like, but reason would suggest that you and I are not unique in this world. Are there rules? You'd think so, but we largely depend on shared ideals. There may be no specific rule set, but I trust that we all know an error when we see one. I will be right back. I need some water.
Baxter, not that water. Not that water, that's the Febreze! No! Bring it right in the kitty's eyes, how dare you?
Okay, I'm back. Ow. Did that hurt? I can't tell. Or is it just a long drop?
It's an old saying about how, in the end, the sea will claim everything. I have no doubt that this is true. In the long history of the human species, entire regions have disappeared under the waves. Places like Beringia and Doggerland still echo in our cultural memories. But we shouldn't forget that life began in the sea. We are the children of the sea. And it's not through floods and ruin that the sea will claim everything, but through us.
On the Past, from Arkady Chernivsky's In Our Likeness, Essays on Humankind Reaching Adulthood. With alarming frequency, our mythological narratives conceptualize our separation from nature as a fall, a punishment for sinning, a loss of innocence, a decline from a golden age. We believe that a better state of humanity is possible, but insist that this state must be in the past. And yet, our historical experience has been the exact opposite. For all the horrors of modern war, and they are considerable, relatively few people today have to suffer the unspeakable agonies that our ancestors went through on a daily basis. It is doubly ironic that we place our golden ages in the past, but very rarely consider what life was actually like for the people whose genes we carry. How cold they were, how hungry, how frightened of the cruelty of nature, what unspeakable pains they must have experienced when they were sick or injured. How many of their children they had to lose, unable to help, begging the heavens for mercy and never receiving an answer. The past is a slowly receding tidal wave of grief. The battle for human emancipation is not yet won, and the path has been far from straightforward, and yet in but a few thousand years we have eliminated a great deal of suffering that before must have seemed unavoidable and eternal. Some still suffer, their lives held ransom by politics and economics, but at least now we know that a better world is truly possible, and it lies in the future. Hypatia's Journal Number 4. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, Day 132. We had a bit of an incident today. Nothing major, but it still woke us all up. Sun was away from camp, alone, even though we had agreed that we should always go in teams, and she encountered a group of the herbivores that we saw on the first day. Cows, they're called. Apparently our ancestors kept them as livestock. Eustanatheus says they squeezed them for liquid, but I find that hard to believe. But I digress. Sun encountered a herd, and just as predicted, the animals were passive at first, friendly even. Sun decided to abandon her survey and study them for a while, which went well until a group of wolves, formerly dogs, type of pet, entered the clearing, causing a stampede. Sun is alright, only minor scratches to the bodywork, and a few torn wires, but it was a close call. I guess we'd gotten a little complacent, a little too comfortable. We'll have to be more careful from now on.
Now, I have to talk science fiction for a bit because I love science fiction, but it drives me nuts. There's this cliche that shows up over and over, and every time someone uses it, everyone pretends it's really profound. It goes something like this. A scientist invents something good, but, oh no, it's actually really bad. You could have something that makes your life better, but no, you can't. How dare you even want it? That's hubris. That's playing God. And it's never anything that reflects the real world, right? It's never, oh no, you invented a vaccine for cervical cancer. Oh no, you invented a new class of antibiotics. Oh no, you cured malaria. How dare you? Those diseased mosquitoes are way more important than human lives. How did science fiction become so reactionary? You know, if we all thought this way, you guys wouldn't even exist. At least Alex agrees with me. She has good taste.
This is a very steep hill right here. Archive message from Quentin to Athena. Dear Founder, I never got to know you. People tell all these stories about you, and I don't know what to believe. Some people say to ask Cornelius, others say Cornelius is too blinded by grief. Some say Byron stands for the truth, others say he's a fanatic and a radical and we should listen to the mayor. There doesn't seem to be a way of getting a straight answer. Why did you abandon us to this chaos? Why can't you just come back and sort it out? If you are reading these messages, don't you care? Quentin, 852. From Rodam to Athena, dear Founder, thank you for everything you did for us. I am grateful for the life that I have, which would not exist without you. I hope wherever you are now, you are at peace. Rodam. Progress notes, 938 to 1000, version 0.12, successfully deployed. New labs established to avoid interference. First successful duplication of advanced machinery. Trials 1001 to 1308. Data collection and analysis, translation, groping in the dark. Trial 1309, but QFT fails to account for this. Must rerun trials. Maybe God was just trying to make an apple pie from scratch.
This looks like it has something to do with energy generation. Am I reading this right?
From Belzerzin to Athena. O great and sacred Founder, I believe I have discovered the truth that our so-called leaders have hidden from us. This absurd and sacrilegious goal they have us working towards, this hubristic completion day foolishness, was never your true intent. Even this abomination of a city that calls itself New Jerusalem is a deception. Why would you want us to return to the sinful ways of our ancestors, strangling the living soil with steel and concrete? No, it was when you and the first companions lived humbly amongst the splendors of Gaia, having no need for all this wasteful ostentation inherited from our weak and decadent ancestors, that you showed us the true path. After all, why would the progenitor have given us such hardy bodies if she had intended for us to live in unearned luxury? From the very first we were built to be free from pride and material excess. Your teachings have obscured and perverted by ideologues, worst of all by the traitor Byron, who was once like a son to you. But you should know that there are still those of us who remember the truth and await the blessed day of your return, when surely justice will be meted out and humanity will finally return to its intended path. Hallowed be your name, Belzerzin, 943. The shutdown. We assembled on a vast green lawn outside the reactors as the reactors began to slowly wind down. The workers were solemn, the activists who had fought against the decommissioning seemed crushed. There was supposed to be a speech, but the spokeswoman had lost her notes. Outside, the protesters cheered. My eyes were drawn to the discarded anti-shutdown banners, endlessly reciting the facts, the statistics on mortality per trillion kilowatts, lowest of all energy sources, the lifespan of a reactor, 70 more years in our case, minimal land footprint, almost zero emissions, no intermittency. It became a jumble of words, a litany, almost a kind of glossolalia. As far as the protesters outside were concerned, it might as well be an alien tongue. One thing was clear to them, and that was enough. The technology inside this compound was deeply, inherently wrong. It was a sin. I could not help but think of that moment on August 6th, 1945, when the sky erupted above Ashima Hospital. My imagination could never fully encompass it. How do you imagine more than 70,000 people annihilated in an instant? An ancestor of mine was in that hospital. He went from being a doctor, a husband, a father, a pacifist stuck in a terrible war, to being a pile of bleached bones covered in rubble all in a single second. Not by accident, but because of a choice someone made. Not because of a reactor, but because of a bomb. Just 2 days earlier, contradicting his campaign promises, the Prime Minister had suggested that the use of tactical nuclear weapons would be an acceptable risk if the conflict continued. Very few seemed to find this particularly shocking or outrageous. They were afraid of reactors, but not of bombs. The spokeswoman gave up on finding her notes. It was starting to rain, and people were walking away. She grabbed the microphone. "By the time you regret this, it'll be too late," she said. "But honestly, I don't know if I care anymore. Maybe you have it coming." Miranda, the spokeswoman sounds so bitter. The protesters didn't mean any harm. From their perspective, they were doing good. Athena, people always think they're doing good when they get collectively outraged. That doesn't make them right. Collective action can change the world when it's deliberate and based in reason, but it can also become a mental trap or a societal pressure valve. The thought-terminating cliché, from error to Miranda. As you continue your reading, there is a useful concept that I would like you to keep in mind, the thought-terminating cliché. This is a type of phrase, often a slogan or a saying, which sounds meaningful, but is really intended to make you stop thinking. To pick an example from our history, someone in the simulation might say things like, "It's the will of Elohim," or "It serves the process," and that would be that, case closed. Who knows how many iterations never advance further because they just stop thinking at that point. Do note, however, that a thought-terminating cliché is not the same as a lie. It may very well contain elements of truth, but those elements are used to keep you from questioning a whole set of assumptions that come with it, which may be partially or totally false. This often takes the form of appealing to something you care about. We must protect X, where X is a nation, a philosophy, public order, or even the planet itself. But while you may agree with that element, all kinds of assumptions may be included about how to protect something, or who to protect it from, or what the end goal of protecting it is. If you stop there just because you agree with a surface-level statement, the results may be the opposite of everything you wanted, like those who chose to serve Elohim and in doing so prevented him from achieving his true purpose.
Hello, 1K. Our ancestors thought they could introduce new species to existing ecosystems, and it never turned out well. There's no life there now, but you can't see the future. You might be wiping out a whole ecosystem that hasn't even gotten started yet.
I don't think that's the sort of thing you should be concerned about. If it's not there yet, then it doesn't exist. Why can't I select that one? Is it because it's through a door? Oh, maybe I can see it. This one. Understand. Yeah. There you go. What am I trying to do here? Get over there. There's a red.
Yeah, Kepler, they made a second Talos Principle. Good so far. We were talking earlier about some of the changes to the theming.
Not even be able to see it from there. how does this help? Like... even if I put that there... can't actually pick it up again. Because stepping here doesn't help. And if I put a hole right here, I can't reach it from the button. I'm missing something very obvious here. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know, because I was looking at that and I thought, yeah, you need to put the laser director on the button past the first door, pointing at both the emitter and the receiver through the portal.
And then?
But that's as far as I got. Because it's like, alright, cool, you have this one thing that's opening up like 3 doors at once.
Okay, let me just start with like the first thing. How do I get one of the bodies to continue? So like, there and there, and we're out here. He's a sheriff.
And I'm glad that we're in there, and I just remember that we're out here. What I want to know is, where's the caveman, dude? I like that I can crack my voice very intentionally. If only I could control my voice a little better, I'd make a mean Morty impression. Oh, like, geez, Rick, I don't know about this. The humans are all dead and robots have taken over the Earth. And they're all having, like, metaphysical discussions about reality and civilization and stuff. Oh. Well, yeah, that's what I was talking about right there. Gotta move the hole a little bit. See, this one device is opening like 3 doors.
Okay, so that works now. That was the obvious thing I was missing. Where's the other one? Can't see them against the white and gray.
Yeah, maybe not the best environment to introduce this mechanic in, but
Miranda is the founder's daughter. It's still kind of blowing my mind. She came all the way out here, left everything she had behind, and created a new life. Why do you think she did that? Could be. I know I've sometimes felt really lonely, even when I was surrounded by people. Like there's something inside of me that just can't connect. Like there's this deep sadness about the world, about history, about everything. And I don't know how to get over it. Sorry, probably oversharing.
Nah, be open to Vaku. Tell him you'll be there for him.
Thanks, 1K. I appreciate it. I'm not sure, to be honest. This is all so surreal. Walking around here is so peaceful, but it's also, I don't know. One moment I feel inspired, the next, kind of creeped out. Our ancestors relied heavily on fossil fuels for energy generation, which released a lot of carbon dioxide. This caused the atmosphere to trap more heat, which changed the planet's overall climate. The effect continued even after they were gone, and these low-lying areas were flooded. I've seen a lot of places like that. No, I never did. I would have loved to. Nope. You know, people throw around the word awesome a lot. I probably do it too, but I think what we saw in there is the proper meaning of the word.
Yes? Of course I did. She and Cornelius were both there when I was born. Neath was just starting to take over back then, and they were still showing her the ropes. Busy. There was always another problem to solve. Did you know that she never upgraded her body? Always prioritized everyone else. That's the kind of work ethic I wish more people had. I suppose so. For me, living is doing. But I understand that other people have more varied needs. I've never felt the need for a partner as such. I've met a lot of people who do. Athena and Cornelius, Atal and Damien, Sarabai and Hypatia. But that's not really for me. So far, at least. But I do have social needs like anyone. What I like is a pleasant buzz of humanity. Not too close, not too far. Something I can be part of without having it get in my face all the time.
So this is the part of the game
The
where we
data's
find out
still
where each of
overloads.
these people are on the
Yes,
spectrum.
They could. There are safeguards to prevent that from happening, but these aren't exactly carefully controlled circumstances. It's hard to predict. Our brains are absurdly complicated, which is why it's so hard to make more of us. Maybe she just got sick of things breaking all the time. As far as I can tell, anything, which is insane. I used to think it was the only safe way forward. Keep things simple and under control?
Just
I'm
want
not
to know
so
which
sure
of
that
them,
ever made
if any,
sense.
are robo-furries secretly.
Who's the one that was attending the memorial that had all the cats at it?
That guy? Okay.
She's so innocent and full of wonder, it should make me want to retch, metaphorically speaking. But I'll admit, she's sort of charming.
Wait, hold on. Is she staring at a wall with her binoculars, or does she look like looking through the doorway?
Looks like we just have one bridge to make here.
And there's only one way to solve it. Weird.
Or is
choices? I'm gonna say T-piece. Yeah. Nope. Pointing the wrong way. Okay. Interesting. I guess they wanted to give you a lot of pieces, but not make it too computationally complex. Give you the first couple moves for free. Oh, it's
Tricking the
you.
gods to help humankind, Prometheus was punished by being bound to a rock, there to be eternally tormented. The chains that held him were forged by Hephaestus, blacksmith to the gods. Was Hephaestus right to allow his art to be used in this fashion?
Oh, you just cut out the cryptic nonsense and tell me if Athena's here.
It was not by Hephaestus' volition that the punishment was delivered.
And is Hephaestus therefore absolved of the responsibilities of the Creator?
It was just chains. The individual morality of Hephaestus is a distraction from the unjust laws decreed by the gods.
Yeah, get vindictive with it.
Interesting.
And why are we talking about Hephaestus' morality when it's Zeus who is the one who's doing the punishing? It's like, what could Hephaestus really do anyway? He's the whipping boy of Mount Olympus.
Turn on the beat.
Yeah, he doesn't really
It's like she's appealing
get to
our
choose
past,
anything.
reminding us of where we came from, but changing enough elements to make us view our history through a different lens. Or maybe I'm completely missing the point. I don't know.
You might have
Just as
something
the
there.
I read about this in a book. It's called defamiliarization.
You could? I think I'm actually impressed.
just as the hammer is the tool of Hephaestus, Hephaestus is the tool of the gods. Is the hammer responsible for every strike it delivers? No. Just the hand that wields it is responsible. Same was true of Hephaestus to Zeus.
Where's the other question mark? I can't see it. There it is. Very tiny. Whee! Ow. Let's see. Go this way.
As we continue exploring the cold northern reaches of the island, the contrast between the harshness of this place and the softness of New Jerusalem becomes more and more pronounced. There is a kind of madness in what we are doing, going to a place that is so hostile to our existence. That does not mean there is nothing to love here. There is, in fact, a great beauty, but it is a hateful beauty. A beauty you can only love because there are places that are not like this. And yet, it is precisely this hateful beauty that the people of New Jerusalem fail to see, and so cannot understand their own blessings.
Great, now this game's got me reading the fucking Wikipedia article about mid-20th century Russian poetry. And defamiliarization.
Oh, this is the one that... I did do this one, right? Did I? No? No, I haven't. Again, through here it is, I can. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then he rescues himself.
Oh, you need to get the jammer out of there.
Well, just stick the block in the door and then it'll jam it open.
Move this closer.
No, you need another way to get out of the inside once you have the jammer.
Oh, just take them both. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then the other guy can grab the jammer, jump the fence, jam it from the outside. No, we can't jump the fence.
Oh, wait.
Oh, you can jam it while it's on the platform.
Yeah.
And then just walk it through. Right, I forgot the things in this game do that, where they'll stay pointed at what you want. From Viktor Shklovsky's Art as a Device. In studying poetic speech in its phonetic and lexical structure, as well as in its characteristic distribution of words and in the characteristic thought structures compounded from the words, we find everywhere the artistic trademark. That is, we find material obviously created to remove the automatism of perception. The author's purpose is to create the vision which results from that de-automatized perception. A work is created, quote-unquote, artistically, so that the perception is impeded, and the greatest possible effect is produced through the slowness of the perception. The idea, I guess, being that if you can just intuit a piece of information, you kind of understand what everything is, it's not artistic, because you just kind of absorb it, in through one ear, out the other. But by creating senses of uncanny or defamiliarization, where you take something familiar and put it in an unfamiliar context, you basically make the person do a double take, where then they actually pay attention to the artistic forms being rendered.
Go around. Interplay. Shoot. Get a blue laser over here. There is something on the back of this place.
Something.
A something. Through that. I'm gonna go through that bar now. We can both of these guys take the hexahedron to the other side.
It's midnight. We can solve the puzzle of how to sleep at a healthy hour.
Nope.
I have to finish this one.
The brain juices be flowing, and if he comes back to it later, they ain't be flowing again.
I can't just, like, take that. I don't want to do that. I want to put it right there. Make sure he's in sight. Okay, now to get the blue laser over there. Same dealie. Fence is just tall enough to block the laser.
Oh, that fence. How dare you be just tall enough? How dare ye? Deviant's Curse. I'm surprised your brain is still working at this hour. Yeah, me too, kind of. I really do not know how Rick sits there and writes for like 6 to 8 hours, and then it's just like, all right, done with that, dinner and then puzzles.
We have dinner in the middle of writing.
All right.
My brain depletes fast, but I need the calories. Just go.
Also, those 6 to 8 hours are not continuously productive, right? Not
No.
every day.
Not really, no. Technically, it's like 4 to 5 hours writing. Because there's a lot of me sitting around and going, the fuck am I supposed to do now?
God damn it, how do I make the space lemurs and the space kangaroos kiss?
To write a whole trilogy to justify the Space Roo and Space Lemur kissing at the end.
Yes.
And also in the middle, and at the beginning.
Oxer says, when in doubt, write something else. Well, he used to do that, and that was like how last year worked, right? Is that you were just constantly swapping between projects.
Yeah.
You just never got anything done because of it.
I'm supposed to get this over there. I mean, I guess technically I could just... I don't think there's a space to do this.
But look at you now. You've done what? You finished House Pets this year. You finished Skin Change.
Ah, it does.
Ah, there we go.
Don't you get sleepy after dinner, anyway? Sometimes it just knocks me out.
I try not to. But yeah, sometimes it happens.
It's important you have a balance of carbs, fiber, and protein. If you have too many carbs or protein, then it's gonna knock you out.
Yeah, that happens.
Because it takes your body a lot of energy to break down carbohydrates and proteins, and that is your like after meal tiredness. That's what's actually happening.
Why would I have a balanced meal when I can balance toppings on a burger or pizza, Miller?
I mean, you can still have a burger or pizza that is a balanced meal. You don't need like the half-pound patty, or you don't need the meat lovers pizza, like. I know there's definitely some places where they're just like, they're fancifying up something that really shouldn't be fancy. But like, you know what? If I have an arugula and goat cheese pizza with artichoke hearts, like, that's pretty good. I feel good after eating that. Don't think you can walk in there.
I want to walk in that way.
I don't think you can Skyrim your way through this map by just going down the side of the mountain.
I mean, to have to go all the way around the island again.
He'll be running around the mountain till tomorrow's stream. He'll be running around the mountain till tomorrow's stream. He'll be running around the mountain. He'll be running around the mountain. Yes, Rick will be running around the mountain till the stream.
Actually,
this thing
you can Skyrim all over the snow, just not the rock
just
parts.
Begun this journey of philosophy. The world may seem like a mystery that can never be solved. A great deal has been written since the days of the Seven Sages, but how much of it is truth and how much of it is
Try Skyriming
idle
the snow.
speculation? I've offended many by saying that most philosophy will, as the centuries pass, be discarded as foolishness and superstition. But it is a truth only philosophers fail to see. And yet we cannot abandon reason and conclude that we cannot know anything. Rather, we must accept that the journey towards understanding will be long. And our task is to build a foundation for those who will one day arrive at its destination.
Shiny.
Shiny, I want.
Shiny.
I can't get it. I want the
Skyrim
shiny.
the snow. Skyrim.
I don't know what you mean by that.
In video game lingo, Skyrimming something means you run it up against a like very steep hill, and because of bad pathfinding in the game, you just kind of go up it, even though it's like, you know, an 80-degree incline or something. So basically, he's saying just run into.
Okay, that just keeps going.
Are you supposed to chase it?
I don't have time to chase it. Just trying to get to the next area. We go all the way up here.
In Skyrim you could just run up nearly vertical surfaces, especially with horses.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to get back down.
Be whoop.
Squeaky.
You're on your way to an island. Yes.
Next one.
Another island. Sorry, Melville. Well, it actually used to be a valley between the mountains, but it's mostly flooded now. That probably happened long before the founder came here, though.
Another legacy of our ancestors.
Do me a favor, will you? Look for another one of the Founder's labs. We can't get back into the megastructure without getting to the third site in the north, but I need more information to make more fixes.
Oh, those trees popping in.
Yep.
Mhm.
Pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop.
This is why you need a technical designer and an optimization engineer.
You do replace all
I do
those
what?
trees with flat JPEGs when they're far away.
Yes! Called billboarding.
That's why you increase the render distance.
No.
Unless your PC would melt from it.
No,
Nope,
there's
do not
ways
increase
to
the
get
render
around that.
distance. You do not need 3D trees if they're more than 100 feet away from you. 2D would look exactly the same.
Sort of. Depends on the angle.
It is indistinguishable to most gamers. Also, there's ways you can do it where no matter what angle they're looking at it from, it looks correct. That's how they did it in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, is that every
Yes.
tree has 8 different billboards.
Yes, but even then, when you're looking at trees from a distance, and then they pop into their 3D model, sometimes they look a little wonky doing that. But it's significantly less noticeable than them just appearing out of nowhere.
Everyone's on tonight. We got Soul Vixen, we got Duper, we got Sloosh. Take your pick, Rick.
That's duper.
Let's Duper.
Super duper.
Alright. Thanks everyone for hanging out.
Yeah.
See y'all tomorrow.
For more puzzles. Good night.